What is everybody, Kyle Murray from FTN Daily, back again with the PrizePicks Prop Show. It is Thursday, December 29th, and I got some NBA plays here for you. Got 3 of them for today. Pretty short slate today after we had a pretty big Wednesday slate, but still plenty of games and some fun games as well to talk about. Before we get into my picks, if you're a new user at PrizePicks, head over there, use code FTN, and get yourself a 100% match up to $100. And also let me know who some of your favorite picks for today's slate are in the comments below. Please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It helps us out a ton and helps you stay up to date with all of our latest videos, which we've been pumping out a lot of PrizePicks content, so hopefully you all are enjoying that. But check out the other stuff as well. We got bets, fantasy, daily fantasy sports covered for you here at FTN Network. Now, without further ado, let's get into my picks. We got 3 of them for you. First one, Christian Wood over 1.5 assists. I took this number last game, ended up working out, I guess you could say, pretty well because it cashed, but it wasn't by a wide margin. He finished with 2 assists. Prior to that, in terms of last game, 2 games ago, Christian Wood 7 assists in that one. But the big thing here for Wood is increased minutes. All year long, the big issue with Christian Wood's workload and with some of his production has been the minutes. But with Dorian Finney-Smith and Maxi Kleber sidelined here for this Dallas team, Christian Wood's being forced into playing more minutes. He played 40 minutes last game. He played 37 minutes the game before. Even when you project him for 33, 34 minutes, a more moderate projection there, he's still clearing these numbers pretty easily, and again, he's not going to go out there and project for 4 or 5 assists or anything, but 1.5 assists is not a very difficult number for him to get over, so I like that. If you're a little on edge about it, I don't mind, pairing that with either the points or the points and the rebounds to make it points, rebounds, and assists, either way, but in general right now, sticking with Christian Wood over 1.5 assists. Again, I just think he's going to be on the floor a ton. And this is still a guy with a 25-26% usage rate. When you have the ball in your hands that much, you're just likely to make plays here. So Christian Wood over 1.5 assists is pick number 1. Pick number 2 is going to be Paul George over 4.5 assists. He's gone over this number in 4 of his last 5, and honestly, in those games that he's gone over it, it's been in a big way. 8+ assists in 3 of his last 5. He's averaging nearly 8 assists over that time frame. So when you look at just the production that you get from Paul George, when you look at some recent trends, you do have to account for games with and without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George. Obviously, with a couple of these guys still sitting, I do expect Kawhi and John Wall to play here tonight, so that could change up some things. But John Wall is going to be fairly limited, as he's been sort of all year long. But I do expect we see Kawhi kind of work more towards that regular workload. But regardless, Paul George is kind of working his way into a role where he gets to play a lot of point guard, and that only is going to benefit this scenario here with this assist line here. 4.5, I think, does feel like a fairly low number considering what we've seen Paul George do as of late. Like I mentioned, 8+ assists in 3 of his last 5, and 2 of those games he topped 11 assists. So Paul George over 5.5 assists is pick number 2. And pick number 3, we're going to stay in that same game here. We're going to look at the rebound market. Jaylen Brown over 6.5 rebounds. He's been hitting this number fairly consistently as well. He's struggled the last 2 games to hit this number, but prior to that, he's gone over that number in 7 of his last 10, averaging nearly 8 rebounds per game over his last 10 and just over 7 on the season as well. I expect this to be a fairly close game. It's a 6-point spread, but I actually would probably play Clippers with the points here, so I do expect this game to be fairly close and fairly competitive, potentially pushing some additional minutes for some of these star players as well, and obviously more time on the floor just leaves them more opportunities to go ahead and hit the overs on some of these numbers here. Looking at my model, Jaylen Brown here projects fairly easily to hit this number. 8.3 rebounds is where the model stands for him today, and again, another number where I don't mind pairing Jaylen Brown with the points as well. His points line's 26.5, fairly big number, but my model has him at 27.5. So again, not necessarily a massive edge, but when you take the about the full point edge on the point projection, and about the 1.5 point edge on the rebound projection there, you can combine those two if you do so, please. But in terms of what we can get from Jaylen Brown, he can go out there and post a 30-point night pretty much any night. That'll make it fairly easy to go ahead and hit that 33.5 points plus rebounds. Again, the official pick here is 6.5 rebounds on the over there for Jaylen Brown, but if you wanted to pair it with the points and make it 33.5 points plus rebounds, would not mind that either. Those are my 3 favorite picks for the day, but if you want more of those picks, make sure you're checking out the pick tracker later on in the day, checking out the PrizePicks Edge tool, where I basically give you my model and run the numbers compared to the lines over at PrizePicks, and you can see all the best odds and edges from my model. So that's kind of what I use to make my picks for PrizePicks every single day, and it's worked out pretty well for me. So if you're looking for some more picks, highly recommend checking that out there, and it's free every single day. Right now we have NFL and NBA for that Edge tool, so highly recommend checking that out. Again, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, helps us out a ton, and it'll make sure that you're staying up to date for our next videos. But that's gonna do it for me. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and as always, we'll see you guys next time.